we finally have our first real Halloween Horror Nights announcement for 2023. Welcome back to another video, guys, and as always, thank you for tuning in. My name's Eddie, and this is Edutainment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. But like I said, we got our first announcement for 2023. We've already had an announcement at the end of last year's Halloween Horror Nights, which was Chucky coming to the event. But this is our first official house announcement for 2023. And I gotta say, the announcement season does not seem to have the same luster that it used to, but we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later in the video. But before we do that, let's actually watch the little preview that they released for this announcement, which is The Last of Us, the video game. And we'll give you a little bit of a on-the-spot reaction to what's going on. We did already watch this, but let's watch it again together and kind of dissect what's going on in this little announcement. All right, let's jump right into it.
Guys, I'm telling you.
Just FYI, I've never played
so
the game
with this universal legend?
or watched the show.
You think I'd be
The
used
game
to them
does
by
seem
now.
like Resident
Thanks
Evil.
for paying attention, Jordy.
Sorry.
All right, just skip to exactly 32 seconds in the video, and
Jeez, another conspiracy theory? There's no hidden gem in the park.
Hey, are you guys seeing this?
And this does seem to follow the same style as last year, with like the different characters that we may have some type of story build-up. Last year, the build-up kind of build up to nothing. That's kind of creepy. I'm definitely gonna have to watch this show. Hey, where'd you go? Are you dead? That's what the text message says. And nothing.
Step into the world of The Last of Us. Only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
All right, so my first reaction is this does seem like a Resident Evil property. I'm also wondering, how they're going to build up the characters and whether or not the story will come to fruition. I feel like last year they did something similar with building up the story with all these different characters being interconnected and all having their own little storyline. The one kid is talking about a legend, and I wonder what that's going to be. They talk about a particular time in the video, and in that particular time for this particular video, there's a little pentagram. For the previous video, I believe there was something else. Shout out to our friend Adrian, one of the fellow Boo Bros from Lost TV. He pointed out in his video, and I was unaware, that the last time we had a video house or a video game house was 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, it was Resident Evil. So kind of interesting that this game does seem Resident Evil-like. I will say, obviously, that is very fitting for the event. Lackluster in the announcement for me personally. I'm excited that they finally gave us something, but the announcement season is something that used to mean something, used to have a lot of build up to it, and as the years passed, it became longer and longer. We would have had multiple houses announced by this time prior, but no longer, so it's kind of interesting. That being said, The Last of Us is coming to the event, and this one is going to be off of the game, as we said earlier, not off of the HBO series. But that being said, I've never watched either one of them, and my feedback that I've heard from a lot of people that did watch the show is that it follows the game very closely. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like semantics, right? They may not have been able to get the rights for the HBO show due to some complications, so they had to go the route of PlayStation and SureDog. But that being said, if the show follows the game very closely, then we're probably getting something that you would expect would have been the result of the show as well, if we would have gotten the official show for the house. That being said, it's fitting, right? Although the announcement is kind of disappointing in my opinion, let me know down in the comments what you think about this particular announcement and what you think is also coming. We'll talk about right at the end some of the speculation of particular houses that may be announced down the road, but this particular house I'm gonna enjoy. I feel like it's gonna be a great house, maybe one of the top houses at the event, But that being said, the announcement season itself, as I was talking about earlier, it took forever. This is June. We're only 3 months away, or less than 3 months away from the event actually started, because it begins in September, early September, first weekend of September. And this is our first official announcement. I hope that they pick it up with the preceding announcements and we get something even bigger than this particular property. I do think that if it would have been the HBO property that we were marketing, it would have been a lot bigger, just because I don't think everybody played the game, but the actual TV series ended up being what kind of transcended this game into modern day at the moment. That being said, I'm sure it's going to bring a whole new fan base of gamers, as well as the people who watch the show and are maybe interested to see how they pull this off, given that a lot of the feedback is that it follows the game very closely. I have been going to the event for several years, and regardless of how announcement season goes, I will be showing up and enjoying the event. Last year, I was not a particular fan of how the announcement season was actually pulled off, or lack thereof announcement season, but I went to the event, had a great time, very nostalgic. I love going, meeting my friends, going through all the houses, going multiple times. It's a great event just in general, and Universal, although sometimes the announcements aren't too good, they tend to pull off the houses fairly well. Now we're talking more about what's to come, because this was only the first announcement for 2023 of all the houses. Now we have 2 houses, 2 out of 10 houses, so still 8 to go, and probably another 3 that are going to be intellectual properties. As far as the intellectual properties out there that could potentially be coming to the event, the one that I've been hearing through the rumor mill that may be coming, and I would be excited about, although I know the last time that it was at the event, for some people it didn't leave the best taste in their mouth, but I enjoyed it, is Stranger Things. Stranger Things revolutionized Halloween Horror Nights and made it what it is today. Intellectual properties are much more prominent, and they continue to become much more prominent year by year. They tend to lead the way. They're doing away with the icons and saving them for like anniversary years, and we see them less and less. They are talked about in lore, but the event isn't necessarily as enthusiast-based as it used to be. The general public has much more of a presence these days. That's why particular properties like The Last of Us are coming, and Stranger Things. But that being said, even me as an enthusiast, I did enjoy Stranger Things greatly. I thought it was an amazing house. I thought it brought a whole new level of special effects and just, I guess, creativity to the event. So if Stranger Things does end up being the next house or one of the future houses that's announced for this 2023 season, I think I'm going to be excited. I don't know too much more about particular speculation that's out there. I know that there's a speculation map, but I haven't really looked through it because I tend to avoid that type of stuff and just come up with the speculation off the top of my head. Unfortunately, Stranger Things is one that I kind of heard through the grapevine. But if you know something that's coming to the event or something that you want to see at the event, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. Start a conversation. Let me know. I know that this may seem like a negative video about Halloween Horror Nights, but in honesty, I do love the event. Huge fan. I haven't missed a year for like the past 10 years, and I've been going since the caretaker years. So just to kind of age myself, you may be able to see my grades as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited for what's coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. We got 1 announcement and still another 8 to go, as well as scare zones and shows. So a lot that is still coming. I'm excited to hear what's coming to the event. I would hope that they would just drop it all at this point since we're so close to opening day. But we have our hotel booked. We're ready for Halloween Horror Nights this year. We'll see you guys in the fog. I hope you enjoyed coming along, but don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?